Hi and welcome. This is Elena Rosalind Michelle with the Angel Messages with Elena. I want to thank you for joining me. I have been caught up on my readings and actually have a little miracle going on. I'm like overdue paying my cell phone because I haven't had the funds to pay for it. It's 3 weeks overdue and I still have my phone. So when the divine says that you're gonna have clear communication, I mean, they're really not lying. So how cool is that? So I'm gonna do a few more videos. I'm kind of thinking by the 23rd, 24th, it's probably gonna be turned off. But we're hoping for some really major shifts coming in. So I decided to do the Fibonacci sequence of a reading that I took the Celtic cross and changed it into a spiral reading so that it would have more flow and you could get more into your heart's desire. And then I have energy cards to enhance or to help change the final cards. So it's a 17 card reading, and sometimes I pull the cards according to the Fibonacci sequence, like the 1, the 2, the 3, the 5, and on. Or I will condense all the numbers into one number and then I'll condense that down. There's a lot of different ways that you can pull the cards to this sequence. It's really cool because the 11th card is like your heart's desire, your life path, your life purpose. I mean, it really helps you be condensed to really know where you're going. So I really don't know how the cards are. I did pull them ahead of time, but I did not look at them. Kind of, like how I have been doing is revealing them as they go. So thank you again for joining me. It is June 22nd, and I think it's about 9:45 or 10 o'clock at night. I'll double check that, but just in case you're interested in knowing. Now I'm using 2 card decks. The first one is the Akashic Tarot by the twins. It's Sandra Ann Klinger, or Sharon Ann Klinger and Sandra Ann Taylor. They're twins. I get them confused all the time. And then the Energy Oracle by Sandra Ann Taylor. So these were the very first cards I've ever bought, and I just started using tarot like the end of January. But since I've been using symbolisms and abstracts in my intuitive readings for like forever, it was only natural that the angels and divine had me use tarot because or oracle cards because they have so much symbolism in just the pictures. So that's what I usually go by, sometimes by the meaning, but sometimes I take it a little bit further. So our first card, our center card, is our heart card. Oh, how beautiful is that? You got the Queen of Squirrels. So this is you and your heart, and where you are right now is that you're open and learning from wisdom, divine wisdom. That there is a woman here, or you're tapping into divine feminine energy if you're a man. You're tapping into this intuition, into learning, and yeah, how beautiful is that? It's just like whatever you're learning, it's really been influential for you, and you're understanding things are like it's coming to make more sense, and that this is perfect timing to keep learning more. So let's go ahead and look at the next card. This is our support card. This is the Queen of Forces. So wow, you got 2 queens that come to the first, and the first 2 cards. So the Queen of Forces is the one who puts everything into balance and knows how to use the intuition and how to use divine masculine and influence it in such a way for like manifestation, for praying, for talking, for the beautiful communication, for creative arts, for doing the logical and scientific part. But you're just equally balanced. You are so supported in both the divine and the right and the left side of your brains. So that is really beautiful. So those number 3 card is the Source card. It's like, what sources do you have? Oh my gosh, you have Uriel and the Sphinx. So the Sphinx is like the knowledge of everything. It's just like, there underneath it or around it, it says in the legends that it has the Hall of Records. So it has all of this information, and Uriel is the angel of the crown for me and the decks that I use. So it's about your knowledge. It is about, if you feel like you're been sitting too long, Uriel is going to put fire to your hiney to get you going. So you have all these sources given to you. I really like using the Akashic Tarot as well, because it really goes into your spiritual side, and to know that it's time to start putting into practice the things that you're learning. There's beautiful, lots of learning out there, and you're never too late to do this. And I'm like in my Jubilee year, from when I was conceived, and then I'll go into Jubilee this next year. So you can start at any time, because that everybody has something to give to the table that somebody will connect with you at one point or another with. Even more so with you than with me, or with somebody else who has 100 million subscribers. Okay, so everybody has something to offer the world. All right, so the things that are going out is our number 4 card. So this is the spring card, which this is, or the summer card, which is the winter is underneath, is upside down. So the summer card, so the things that are going out for summer is that this is like harvest time, right? The summer brings in the blooms. So if it's things that are blooming, but it's going out, is like it's time to harvest it, right? Time to use it. Time to set it in motion. Time to gather the seeds and ready to plant the seeds again. The winter, when it's upside down, usually a card will come upside down, and then that will be that card. But to me, in this one, is like this is a time to think about maybe coming into yourself a little bit and not spreading yourself so thickly, right? Because the harvest, you're gonna need time to figure out, and reflection, and what to pick and what to store. And the winter is going to help you store or to get rid of things. Okay, and definitely into the waning of the moon and into the new moon, that is all about what I'm just telling you. It's reflection, going through the stuff, what you get ready to get rid of into the new moon. And lately, the last few months, all of my readings are so to the phase of the moon, so I'm not surprised. Our 5th card is what you are aware of for your goals and ideas. So this is the King of Keys. The King of Keys is about a king who is coming home from battle, right? It's just like working so hard. And all of these things that you have learned that has put you into bondage, you get in freedom, and you're coming home. So you see the palace in the back, is that you're finally coming home. Things are clicking. Things are making way for this move to come home. When you see a horse is about definitely your intuition, but it's about strength and beauty and grace, and what the horse really reflects. It can carry a load, but when it's running wild and free, that's freedom. So just kind of remember, when you see a white horse, it's about the purity of it, right? It's just like, wow, it's beautiful. Those are like symbolisms for especially albino animals, because there's not very many, but lately there have been a lot of them been born in the last 10 years. So those are special signs for us. Okay, these are like, pay attention. All right, pay attention. These are being made way for you. Now the next few cards will have also the energy card for what energies that we either need to change or to amplify. So this is the unaware, unconscious things that are coming and developing, right? It's the ascent. It's like the awakening. It's like you're climbing the mountain, and it's a huge mountain, but it takes some work, but you're going to attain it, right? Because he's not falling off the mountain. He's like king of the mountain. That is your key that is being given to you, and it's a number 7. So the number 7 to me also reflects into it's a divine, but also like a savior, messiah, rescuer. And so don't be surprised if somebody comes in to help you, not to take the credit for, but to help you in your ascent. All right, there we go. And then we have Archangel Gabriel. He is of our 5th chakra, which is throat and communication. So Gabriel, he's bringing all of these people. He gathers people. He brings in a reunion. He helps communication stay open, that there's no miscommunication, there's no disputes, that what you were putting out for intentions and thoughts are directed. I mean, did you know that he also helps direct you while you're sleeping? I have been nudged several times in a major manifestation in March, and I kept getting poked. I'm like, oh, don't go there, because I'm dreaming about something, and your mind just travels, and divine has always poked me when I was getting off track. So Gabriel, Uriel will help you stay on track. So what beautiful, I mean, hello, Gabriel. He is just so awesome anyways. So harness Gabriel into your ascent. You're not by yourself. We have all been there. We're all here to help you. So your other influences of your personal attitude, right, how you look at other things, is that you are the light of the world. So keep on looking at your light. You might seem like you're in the dark, but you're not. All right, you are slowly becoming inflamed. Kind of like, this candle is like, it's frosted, but you can still see the light. That's kind of how I see it for you, is that it might feel a little frosted, that you probably can't see, but others are starting to take notice. All right, so you are the light, so shine it. It's a number 10 card. 10 is a very powerful number for leadership, that the things that you are learning, you're sharing with other people. It's this old cycle is a new cycle now, because it goes in circles. It's a continuous process. There's nothing that will stop without you doing it. So this is a very flowing and moving spiritual awakening for you. So be the light and shine. And then you're being asked a question. This is the garden and the gate. So when you get this card, it's like you still have a choice. You still have a choice. Do you want to continue this path, that all of these divine gifts are being open to you, and this leadership, this teaching, this student process, or do you want to stay where you're at? And it could be with love, it could be with career, it could be with your personal business, it could be in your creative, making puzzles and making your productions. It could be any of those things. So you have the options to stay where you're at, right? It's going to work out no matter which way you go, but then you got to make that decision, okay? So that's where you're at. You're kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? All right? So to know that you are the light, people are seeing you. People are going to be understanding you. People are prepared to come to you. So just make that decision, make that intent. Pray with supplication means to pray over and over and over again. So manifest, and use whatever you need to come to clarity, because angels are saying, what do you want to do? All right, so what's going on around you that's influencing you? Oops. We have the winged messengers upside down. So that means that you're not understanding symbols. You are not listening. I was thinking about this earlier, making a video of how many times an angel tries to get your attention, right? It's just like 11, 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. You see it? Okay, yeah, all right. Yeah, I don't know what it means. But then they take you to somewhere else, and maybe they show you a butterfly, and you're like, oh yeah, yeah, pretty butterfly, right? It's just like these are all messages. When you see something more than twice, and 3, 4, 5, 6, and it keeps on going, is that the angels are trying to get your attention for this personal present awareness of what they're trying to tell you. So for me, 11111 means be prepared. Leadership is being prepared right now, wielding their power. A new leadership that is coming, and to prepare our hearts for it. This is a major transformation that we're going through, and we're going to see so many different leaderships, and we need to prepare our hearts for the true leadership, right? So that's how I look at 111s. Butterflies are signs of transformation, the metamorphosis from the caterpillar into the beautiful butterfly. It's all part of us waking up and being cleaned so that we can be beautiful. So you have everything upside down. So in this reading, I'm going to go ahead and turn it upright because I did tell you some of the symbolisms. When you see a dove is a sign of pure communication. Comes from straight from divine. Okay? So if you see a dove, it's like, oh, better listen. You see a feather, angels around you. See 444, angels around you, and it might even take you into a journey. I challenge everyone to learn the numbers because there's directional numbers. 1 is north, 2 is east, 3 is south, 4 is west, and ask the angels to take you for a ride using 4 numbers. Okay? I've done that, and it's amazing where you go. And it's just like, wow. Even condensing numbers down, like 26 would come to an 8. And just, that would be like maybe two left turns that are west. All right? So kind of do that. Or it could be 4 right turns. Or, just kind of the more you build a vocabulary with your angels, the more that they can share things with you. And it doesn't has to be just the soft whisper, because I get those too, but it's symbolism. Okay, so turn that upright so that you can see that. Any kind of winged messengers or vehicles, such as an airplane, are all signs of messages that are coming in. Owls, hawks, even ostriches who are on the ground. Pay attention. Look around you. There might be symbolisms that the angels are trying to talk to you, because they do talk not only in symbolisms but also in numbers. Okay? So what is here to support you is the 47 woman. This is card 47, and she is the woman of wisdom, the thinking woman, right? She has everything that you could possibly happen. So there's a woman who's coming into your life. It could be me, it could be maybe an auntie, or it could be a grandmother, it could be somebody you don't even know, maybe a babysitter who's babysitting your child. It could be somebody you're working with, somebody you meet at a store. There is a woman who is coming into your life that is going to share her experiences and what she's learned. And so keep a journal. This is my original journal. Look at that. You want to keep a journal and write things down in it to build your vocabulary, to see where you're going. And you'd be surprised in how your journal really opens up into something so beautiful. And it's just like, yeah, I put this as my scripture verse here, and then it's just like over here. And my first scripture verse that I put in here, Then they cry out into the Lord in their trouble, and he brings them out of their distress. He makes the storms calm so that he waves thereof are still. Then are they glad because they quest. So he brings them onto their deserved haven. So it's bringing your home that is of chaos into peace and to calm. That was the very first scripture that I wrote in there. And it's a whole journal about how to bring society, how to bring my family into peace and calm, and to be united in that. And it's beautiful. There's stuff in here that I've influenced the environment all around me and all the way out into Israel and beyond that is bringing peace. Yeah, so how cool is that? All right, so what are your hopes and your fears? Okay, so your hopes is to tap into the Oracle of Delphi. All right, so an oracle is just like I am, a soothsayer, somebody who looks at signs and symbolisms and can tell you what it means, right? The oracle is like willing to tell you what the prophecies really mean, right? Because I believe a lot of the prophecies were written by women in the Bible, and there's so many of them. There's some in China, there's some in Babylon, there's some in Persia. I mean, there's prophecies everywhere, and even into the 19th, 20th, and the 21st century. So there is one particular person who's like the coder, who gives you the decoding key so that you can understand what it truly meant for these prophecies to be fulfilled, or to understand what it truly means. So that's what the oracle would do. She would talk in phrases so that it would, just like if a king came up to her and asked her and paid her an offering of money, and he would ask her who would win this battle. And one of the things that she had said was the strong and good king. Well, he would take it of his own, but when he was destroyed, it was actually his enemy that was the strong and good king. Okay? So even though you think that prophecy is for you, it was really truly meant for the true good and, kind, or, fair king. So that is the beauty about oracles and prophecies, is because there's so many different variations of it, but only one from where the truth really comes from. So your energy card, and who's going to help you, is the Angel of Balance. She is going to be coming in. She's blue. This is third eye, this is visions, and this is talking and communication and technology. Is that you have so much at your fingertips. And look at, she's carrying a vial of blue oil. So she's going to anoint you into your third eye, into throat chakra, so that you can have the same kind of understanding as the oracle. You may even become an oracle, or if you're looking for someone who is in corporate, and notice that this is the number one card, is an arcana card, is that using an oracle in the business shows you who's your enemies, shows you who is going to not bring the right influences, the right energies into your workplace. This could also be your personal business. Why am I not getting followers? Why am I not getting sales? So oracle is really great to use in your personal life plus your business life. All right, so what is our outcome? An outcome is balance, right? So you had balance 3 times in this. So this is the 7 of forces. So there's got to be a balance. You can't work and play, or work and no play, or play and no work. Okay, there's got to be a balance. So same way with learning and how to use your divine, is that you have to be able to just turn off your mind and not worry about it, to turn off different things temporarily so that you can get rest. Just like when I was having that dream and Gabriel kept, nudging me, and Uriah was just like, no, don't think that. I mean, they will show you how to stay focused without having to do so much brain work, okay? Because you got to have the balance. You gotta have right brain, left brain. You have to have the balance. If you're creating art all the time, well, go and do a puzzle that has to use the other side of the brain, because you want connectivity. You want things to keep crossing over into the X's, into your brain. Same way with divine masculine, divine feminine, with work, with play, with family, with business. It's all comes to the table. So the energy card that we have, oh, beautiful. We have Archangel Michael. He is of the root chakra. So the things that maybe there's things that are coming up from childhood or from a bad experience, and it's just like the bad is outweighing the good right now. Well, Michael will help you chop off some of those blocks and also some of those cords, because I had to do that for several years with my ex-husband. He still had my children, but I had to work on that almost daily for a couple of years because of the sabotage and the stalking and putting me in fear all the time. And he also used his lawyer. So until his lawyer messed up, then everything stopped. And this is like, finally. So there's different things that you could do to cut off, some of the things, renewed bonds for things that are lost, and for the things that you want to make stronger. Michael will also do that for you too. Michael's very powerful. He's the one out to the charge. Dun, 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 dun. Right? He is here. He's helping you. He's guiding you. So you got 3 angels who are with you: Uriel, Gabriel, and Michael. How beautiful is that? Okay? So now we're going into the 11th card. It's the heart's desire, your life path, or your life purpose. And what we get here is the garden. How beautiful. Okay, so everything is like being presented to you, and it's beautiful. It's like this garden has been put in this place. It's like the Garden of Eden. Okay, so we can have that. We can have that safe haven. We can have the beautiful place where we can relax and play and have fun and not worry and be stressed about everything. Okay, it could be your heart's desire, your life path, your life purpose. Everything is being handed to you right now. Sometimes you have to kind of look for it. That's why the little boy has like a telescope and magnifying glass. Is like you're looking at things too close. So change your perspective. Step back a little bit. Maybe zoom in a little bit. But when you look at everything under a microscope, then you become really closed-minded, right? You're just seeing everything right in here, okay? You're not looking at the big picture, okay? Divine looks at the big picture from the beginning of man until the very end, which there is no end, right? Heaven, our haven, is continuous, all right? So there is no end. It's just a spiral back into a beginning. When we cut off the things into breaking cords and breaking cycles, and I think that's a lot of this balance card that come in, is breaking cycles with Michael, because it's just like, how do I keep going and going and going? And it's like being repeated, right? Every 100 years, everything gets repeated. So like the 100 Years War, we have World War I, World War II, they're looking at World War III. Well, we got to cut that, okay? We got to break those cycles, and somebody very big and strong has to be able to do that, okay? You can do it, all right? We already got examples of that. I mean, Jesus, for one, he broke the cycle of death. So you have no death. You don't even have to believe in Jesus. There is no death like that. It's continuous. Now, yay. All right, so this is your 4th Archangel, Samuel. And guess what he does? He finds things. He finds the things that you have lost and bring them to you. I am doing a little booklet of our archangels according to the energy oracle cards that are in there, and the things that they put out there. So he's about the solar plexus, and the solar plexus is the I do and the action. He's gonna, it's like, this is the perfect time. I mean, it's like you got the garden, and now you have Shamuel working together. Is that you have everything like presented to you. You have so much information presented to you than in the last 50 years. Even in the last 10 years, things are really booming, being put out there, even under the noses of all of our governments, no matter which country you're from. Is that you got a plate full of information to go into do the things of divine. And if you're in the United States, you're protected under 3 amendments: the first, the fourth, and the 14th. So 1/4 is very powerful. You got to read Matthew 1, and it talks about the 14th generation. And let me tell you, there is 7 women who are part of that, and it divides out the Bible through these women who are the reflections of God. So cool. All right. So everything is given to you. You got all the energies that you need to change and amplify. And there's only a couple little things you need to tweak. All right. So once you get those tweaked and release them, especially through this new moon process, and then you go into as the waxing of the moon, then things will come a little bit easier for you, because then it's about learning and it's about having fun. Now we're getting into the winning part, into new moon, which is, it is about wisdom, right? And we got wisdom here, and we got the thinking woman, so you got the wisdom twice. So it's about, tapping into, when we get older, into an older age, we tend to reflect and we tell stories about our youth. So this is really about what's coming in right now into the new moon, is tapping into somebody else's lessons and learning from them. That's the book of Ecclesiastes is a book about Solomon, and how things that he wanted to change and didn't change, or the things that he did change and how they did work, how to use the seasons, how to use the phases of the moon. So all of these are keys for us to use today. So it's a beautiful message. So I really would love to have you drop a comment below and let me know things that you need to tweak. I do have angel messages and readings for about everything. This is the Fibonacci code, or the Fibonacci reading, and I have these, I think, in 5 different decks that we will use, or you can choose from, or I can choose for you, and then you get a picture of the deck, plus I record the reading with a MP3 that you can listen to all the time. So also subscribe, hit the bell down below, so that you'll get notified each and every time that I upload a video. So all of my messages in the past are applicable for where you are in your journey. There is so much information. At this point, I think I have 54 videos since the end of February uploaded onto YouTube. And I also have different videos on my Facebook page, Elena Rosalind Michelle. Look under the pages, and I will have on there, I think, another 50 videos, and plus other links that I share as well. So you want to tap into both of those things. And if you're coming from Instagram, thank you for coming. If you're coming from Facebook, thank you for coming. And of course, if you're coming from YouTube, yeah, I appreciate every single one of you, and I love you all so much. So thank you, and have a beautiful week.